Welcome back to Archean, episode 14 of Series 1 playthrough. And last episode, we ended up just building a quick little underwater mining facility. Picked up a few rocks that were poking through the floor there. And I'm going to create two pivots by accident right here. I actually wanted hinges. And we'll accelerate this construction cycle right here. Grab some stuff out of the bin there and crush it ourselves. We don't have a crusher yet. And our submarine is anchored, so it won't go anywhere. And we get quite a bit of charge. Although I admit that's a pretty non-optimum submarine. We have some tilt sensors. And about now I realize that I don't want pivots, I want hinges. I'll tell you one thing, making concrete underwater is pretty easy. Alright, so we're going to have a little contest here. Guess what I'm building? Yes, a single concrete cube. Yep, and then I realized I wanted hinges, not pivots. And crushed some more and got gold. Finally, after 14 episodes, we finally have some gold. All right. That should be a hint. I put a hinge down. Okay, I overdo the tilts. Sorry. I don't need the bottom tilt sensor. I'm just being stupid. All right, so I'm just it's interesting that the precision of the manual value is shorter. It's only 3 digits, and it displays 4 digits. Now I could put a computer on here and set it directly, then I have a lot more precision, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so that's almost in that direction, almost flat. It gives you an indication of the curvature of the floor here, or the bottom of the ocean here. And once again, I'm going to put another unnecessary tilt down. I'm looking for my hinge. I guess I'm going to make another one. My inventory is starting to get a little tight here. And we'll go this way. So obviously I'm attempting to create a level. The top one should be level. Now there are some interesting things in the workshop that you can kind of drop it down at an auto level. So if you're like in this environment, you could drop down this little platform and it has little legs to come out and it will auto level itself on the surface. I'm not sure how far off level they can handle, but I've seen those. Now, since we're initially anchored here, then we just need 2 hinges 2 tilt sensors, a computer, hook it all up, have it automatically just do the right stuff and lock it in. Yeah. Try and get that range a little closer. Yeah. Nah, 0. Okay, take that one off. Oh, God. Yeah, the same as the other one below it. Okay. Now you can only, when you build, you only do 4 meters at a time. And yeah, okay, see what we're doing now? We need a lot of concrete. I also need some geothermal units. What I want to do is build out a geothermal power site. I realized I was using composites. I don't want to use composites for this. I want to use concrete. And the reason for using concrete is that it just requires silicon and water, and that's the water is pretty easy to obtain underwater, and the ground is like 77 or some very high percentage of silicon, so the raw materials is lots. And so we just duplicate and keep going up and up. And yes, I'm gonna go all the way to the surface, and while I'm doing that, I'll keep the construction going on. So we're gonna speed this up a little bit. All right, so I'll keep adding down. Now you know why I worked on leveling this off, because I want this to go straight up and not, off the floor and poke at an angle up above. And keep going up, 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 up. And then to drop down, we just have to just turn the jetpack off and just kind of drop. I tried hitting the left control to go down faster, and it doesn't seem that I can actually go down, that it accelerates any. It doesn't seem to. And maybe it does. No, I was speed up at that time. I tried mucking around. Maybe I tried the shift key or maybe power down, but okay. So we're making progress on our geothermal units. So I figured I'd go ahead and put 10 geothermal units down here and a small steam turbine. That'll give us plenty of power, and we can just kind of keep the mining going, and then come back and collect all the goodies at some point. Also allows to recharge the sub while we're down here. I'll put a beacon on here so we can track it. Now we'll have something poking out of the water, so that makes it pretty easy to find too. Yeah, the interesting part about building the geothermal units underwater is that for water input, you can put a port, off of each one and connect it directly, because obviously the water is right there. And then during construction, you have, you can keep refilling your suit with water with no problem. I'm almost considering, if you're starting a brand new base, since you're building typically next to water, is just build part of the base in the water. The biggest problem you have is you need a place, it doesn't have to be level, but it has to be flat enough so you can have the geothermal unit close to the ground. So as long as you can find sort of a flat area, even if it's on an angle, you can just mount all this. So I think for a starter base, is just go ahead and put all the geothermal and the power generation underwater, because it makes a little bit of a noise, and that way it should dampen that noise. And then since you're doing all this construction, and since you're in the water, you're constantly refilling. And the initial mining, you're typically going to find a lot of silicon, so concrete is pretty plentiful. So that should make a starter base a bit easier. And then if you expand out, you put a whole bunch of steam turbines and generators underwater, you just don't see it from the surface. You have a small little base on the surface. Heck, put the crusher down there and everything else. Start off with an underwater base. Okay, I'll get rid of some junk we don't need, and keep the production going, or crafting going. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Just have a port and a little bit of fluid pipe, and boom, you have input. Now, what you really want to do is get it powered up and turned on initially, so the drilling starts while you're finishing the other construction. So it doesn't even need an input until it hits depth, and until you have a turbine hooked in. So I could have left that step off and just focus on getting the power and the cabling, the data cable, each one first, and then get them powered up as soon as possible, get that drilling going, speed that process up a little bit. So we'll tap off our battery here. And we'll sort of daisy chain each one of these. And it's nice to have a bigger one of these units. You know, like a 2 wide, it has a lot more ports on them. Or like the we have the fluid junction, which is pretty wide. So something like that for power and data would be useful. And those things are typically pretty easy for them to add, but they're focused on getting the basic engine running before they add too much stuff to it. And once they have an SDK out, then people can just add those things on their own. Underwater steam turbine, which runs pretty well. So with the gold I have now, I can build a crafter and a Navi unit. So we're going to replicate. I tried to stack them, but I didn't seem to be able to stack these on top of the power ones. Maybe it's just something wrong. We need a toggle switch, gets this thing going. And inventory is getting a little bit tight here, so I probably should just create another container and put some of the excess in there for now. Kind of thinking where I'm going to put this generator. And of course the output port, we just dump it outside. And that's backwards. Oh, I didn't notice I had backwards. That's interesting. So we have to then take the outputs from the geothermal units, put all those together and route that to steam turbine here. Okay, so this one, yeah, I'm being stupid here. It's kind of weird because what I probably should have done is brought the cabling out and around, because it goes under and loops around and it's kind of hard to see exactly where it's connecting to. at least for me. And see, I can't really see what's going where anymore. And that's because I'm trying to make it so compact. Okay, let's try this again. Like that one, I could route closer to the bottom there. Okay, so this one, output goes to there, and this one goes there. And then this one goes there. There. I'm trying to start from the bottom up so I don't forget which is which. And I did this out of sequence once again. I should have got this thing going first before I started screwing around with the plumbing there. So for those watching this, get it running first. Don't worry about any of the fluid pipes until you have the geothermal units running. After you have them running, then you can worry about doing the piping, because until they hit depth, they don't do anything anyway. And initially, until they get, at the initial depth, they don't really put out that much power. It's even worth anything. So until they get deep, they're not really useful. And thus, the goal should be just getting them running first. And I'm double checking, make sure we're right on the edge, on the flat area, so that shouldn't be a problem. So they're all running. All right, so that's going. So we got some running, and we need to make a bunch of more geothermal units. Organize my inventory a little bit. And I do 10 because 10 is the max you can have for one small steam turbine. And that gives you about 270 kilowatts. So if you want 2.7 megawatts, you'll need 100 of these things. It's a lot of steam turbines. And we'll take the output from there, put it through a junction. That way we can tap off for various things. Kind of a funky one. Oh yeah, wrong one. Now we don't have any. We're not up to temperature yet, so we don't have any oomph yet. So now we're in the process of, I'm hitting the X key, of just adding new geothermal units while constructing stuff. And this kind of interleave those two things. And once I drop each in, I hook up the input, I give it a data line, I give it a power line. We'll just grab the next one off the list here. If I hit the right spool, got it going. It's drilled, verifies drilling, then hook up the output to the next one in the slot. And we're not getting fancy with the direction of the piping, just kind of dragging it over. Make sure everything looks okay. And a little accelerated building here. Build some more concrete block. One way to get rid of all that excess amount of silicon I seem to accumulate. And we'll tap this into here, and then we'll drag this from here. And once you get to a certain distance, you don't get the little line. And then we'll plug it there. So once we get enough power coming through, we'll be able to charge up the quote-unquote sub. Yeah, we got almost nothing coming out yet. Yeah, we're not even at depth. Ooh, we got 0.01 kilowatts. Yeah, it'd be a good time to have a crafting unit. So technically we could build one now and have it build the geothermal units. But then I probably need to set up an electrolyzer to make plastic. And so I think I'm just going to not get too fancy down here. Now we have to go all the way back up. Used to do a lot of scuba diving when I was younger, so following a line up is brings back old memories. Up, just like that. You can't see nothing. All you can see, definitely for night diving, you have no perspective where you're up, down. You can't see the ground. You can't see the top. All you can see with your light is this line, and that's your life right there. And you just follow it up and hope you don't lose it. If you lose it, you're floating in the ocean, and all you have now is depth. And we'll keep going up and up and up and making more concrete and going up and auto-filling our water. And up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Yeah, even as low as 200 feet in real life, that's a long way down. And it's a long way up. Or it seems that way. Just going from 200 to 100 seems a long way. Okay, so we're just going to keep popping them in. Kind of wondering when we're going to hit the surface here. Yep, we hit the surface. Yay! So I figure I build out. Nice calm water. No. Curious if there's a weather event where we have waves or something. Get my jetpack on. Did I make that too big? I think I made that too big. Yeah, see what happens? The mouse drops, and I'm making it too thick, and that's why I didn't have enough. And that one piece was made incorrectly. Display of how many, in this case, concrete blocks you're putting down. Okay, so not too far from the shore. So I figure I'll be able to see that from the shore. So the goal is I can motor on over here in the future and then drop down and collect the gold. It is possible to run the item pipe and power all the way up to the surface here. So then I can do mining generation, power generation on the bottom, bring it up and tap into it. So then that means the container would be up here. Then I just motor on over here and then collect the items, and then I can plug in and charge while I'm here. This is going to be a long drop. We're dropping at 5x now. Now the other thing I could have done is, since I have a beacon at my starter base, I could use that for a sort of directional, follow the bottom and run the item pipeline and the power all the way up to the servers by creating little, every so often create a little mini base and anchor it down and connect a flexible pipe to it, and then do it again, do it again. Basically having all these little very small mini bases up where I connect them all using bridges and just keep that going. And all the way to the surface, and then at my base on the surface I can just have a flow of gold and other stuff and power coming up. Probably really wouldn't need to bring the power all the way across. Now at some point I'm going to run out of, the mining spot's going to go dead, and what I can do, but this area has gold, so what I would do, I have to come back down here, move the drill head out about 10 meters or so, plant it back in there, start it up, and go from that. And you get, I guess you could technically put like multiple drill units down, scatter them around, and then just get real fast. You can turn them on and off remotely. If you run a data line all the way to shore, then you can get readings of how they're performing, content, power generation. You split it all in a nice little thing. Now that would take a while to rig all that up like that. And cabling up some more geothermics, and I ran out of room for my group of 10, so I gotta squeeze 2 more in somewhere. And we're charging. That's good. That means we are generating more than consuming, because each one of those geothermics consume about 1,000 or 1 kilowatt each. And charging the old sub there. There's a lot of batteries on that sub, so it takes quite a bit to charge it up. The end of the base there kind of curved down, so I really didn't think I could add any more. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, actually this end I can it seems flat enough. Should get lucky. Yeah, it's within half a meter. I'm sure 8 would be fine, but since we're set up for 10, we might as well go ahead and put the full 10 in here. This will be my in-game max record of 20 geothermic units running. 10 here and 10 on the surface still. Also my very first underwater mining base. How much power? Yeah, probably dropped a little bit adding those additional ones on there. And we got our little line to the surface there. Okay, I have my underwater mining facility for gold set up. I have lots of geothermic power being generated. We have a line going up to the surface, so it's technically we could run a line up there, or at least motor on over there to the platform on the surface and just drop on down, make a collection, and zip back up again. Let's turn this back on, and until next time, see ya.